I was Carlos Rossi. I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in 1961, 9 years ago. My father, Carlos Vicente Rossi, an Italian descendant, he was, he arrived to Argentina in 1932. My mother in 1935, and then I appeared in Argentina. I was born in Argentina with her. Now, no. My idea, without of my head. Why I to be here today? Why I'm here today? In 2009, in my life, my life had a drastic change. I had an anaphylactic shock in 2009. Before, I didn't know that I, in that age, was allergic. I never was allergic in my life. I was military instructor of the commander troop, and I was, and I am now, a hostage negotiator, trained by the FBI. But in 2009, my life changed. What happened? I was in deep coma during 5 days, and in this period, I was dead during 23 seconds. Did you see the light? No. No. I know see the light, but I felt. I think that the 3 seconds before I die, I feel like I speak with somebody. I don't know where, but I feel that I speak with somebody. I say, please, I want dead. I want dead. I have 7 children. My daughter is 24, the last daughter 3 years. And I beg my God, no, I won't die. But the light turned off. I wake up 5 days after. When I return to my life changed drastically. Why? Here is the surprise. In 2008, I know my first teacher in 6 seconds, Linda Moller. In that age, she took me my first say. Here is in Spanish result. So you can see my profile is average. The profile average in competencies. I was always well-intentional. Yes, I never was a bad man, a bad father, never. I was not very emotionally aware. Certainly, I always was scientist since June 1998 for Xerox Corporation, and very, very analytic. Emotional, less, no more. My level of analysis was normal. I tried to compensate my weakness by being friendly, yes. Yes. When I made mistake, always I try to dissimulate. Then I told you, no problem. Inconsistent my thinking in that moment. My acts reflect my thought. In that day, my thinking was coherent between my thought and my acts. I didn't know where I was going. It is true. I never know where I was going. For example, if you ask me, you have an objective in your life? Oh my God, a good house, a good university for my children, but this isn't an objective for your life. The true objective is, if you be alone. What? Or what is your objective for your life? Only you. No family. You in this world. What do you want? This point changed my thinking totally after the show. I was motivated, but I had no direction in some occasion. My emphasis was normally, always I tell seem now, well, no problem. Emotionally, funny, no problem. I only listen what I want to hear. Much time. Why? For my insured. I was insured that only I hear that thing that I want. I only hear to justify my viewpoint, but not listen the other person. In that age, I was very prude, bad for the life. This is before my anaphylactic shock. In that occasion, I replanning or reviewing my life. In the first part was to take my objective for my life. This is an exercise, a self-awareness exercise, that I do to replan my life. It for me was very, very good. For like you, I am living today. For example, I recommend this exercise. It's very, very good. First, you think that you die. You have died. And you are a ghost. You are flying over your burial, and you can see your family, your friends, and your colleagues or co-workers. You think that this is your tombstone, divided in 3 parts: family, friends, and co-workers. You think in that moment, when you are flying over your burial, the 10 phrases that would you like to hear at the, of the family, and the 10 phrases that would you like to hear of the friends, and the 10 phrases of the co-worker. Then, the 30 phrases you have here is your legacy. Is your perception, your image that you won't live when you're part of the world. This exercise was very, very clear for me to recover my orientation in my life. Then, if you can live an image family or perception, family or friend perception, and co-worker perception, you must have several behavior according to image that you want to live. Now, in this moment, my life took sense. I began to see where I want to go. The following step that was very, very clear for my thinking is this. I built a table and current behavior, here legacy, my accomplishment percentage, and correction to my conduct, and I transcribe here current behavior. I put how I was trying, for example, my family, my co-workers, my friends, all my behavior here in family. The same in friends, the same in co-workers. And then I put again all the phrases in legacy in each box. And the following question to be was more clear for me. For example, if I today have this behavior, what is my accomplished percentage of the total legacy? Here I put the answers, and then the last question was, what I must do to reach the 100%. And now in that moment I understand well for what I am or I was in this life. More clear. This is the real technique that I apply to change my life. The following, this is the sequence of change that I felt in my personality. First, pursue noble goals. Enhance emotional literacy. Second, recognize pattern, apply consequential thinking, engage intrinsic motivation, exercise optimism, increase empathy, navigate emotion in disorder. I felt disorder. But in that moment I think, how can I do to complete my emotional thinking to be very good or very well? I do my own emotional feedback model. I apply approximately in 5,000 people as coach in college and university. I had a very good result. This is the model. For me. First, the model contains 4 points. Gut performance that give origin, or it gave way to feedback. Another element is employee criteria. Employee criteria in the organization is what is your perception of the employee. The other is context. Why context? Because if you are working in a human resource department and the organization cut your budget, you can give, you can give to the employee the tools, upgrade, or the tools in good state to work. So you can put all the responsibility in the employee, 50 and 50. And the other is employee profile. Employee profile, why? Because allow you know the SWOT, the employee, and allow you that you can build a special strategy for relationship. If one of these factors lost or you forget it, the model doesn't function. It's good. The 4 elements together, the result is very, very good. In family, in organization, and sport team, no problem. Right. If you ask me, what is or what can be a correlation between neuroscience and this model? Criteria employee, it regulates your tolerance because the employee only have 1 error, your tolerance is big. When the employee has many errors, your tolerance decreases. So, in the neuron, between cell body and axon, all the potential are present. So, the threshold, for me, is or has variation in this point. More sensitive or less sensitive. And the context, it regulates intensity of nervous impulse because your thinking put more emphasis in employee on the familiar or less emphasis in this point that you are trying with him. So, then 6 seconds took me my say 360, and the result was this. Nothing with respect to the first. My IQ was increased, and all day I tried to apply in the work, in my family, with my friends, but I have some consequences of the show. One of my left hand, sometimes during seconds, and then stop. And the doctor told me that when I 65, 68, I can get blind or Parkinson. And sometimes I have problems to understand the language. For this reason, my language today is more or less normal. Thank you very much for your attention.